New research out this morning suggests kids who drink caffeinated fizzy drinks frequently are twice as likely to try alcohol at an early age. The study of over 2,000 children has revealed that children are more likely to try alcohol if they drink too much fizzy. University of Auckland Professor of Population Nutrition, Boyd Swinburne, joins us. Good morning. Well, first of all, I said too much fizzy, but what is too much fizzy at that age when we're talking about?
Well, these are 9 and 10-year-olds, and they were having caffeinated drinks like Coca-Cola every day. But it was only a very small proportion that had them every day. In New Zealand, we have about 10% of kids of that age that have fizzy drinks at least 3 times a week, so we still have quite a high intake in New Zealand.
Is it the fizzy, the carbonation of the drink or the caffeine in the drink that was likely influencing their intake of alcohol at an early age?
No, it's the caffeination which they're looking at, and we've got a few props here. So we've got some fizzy drinks which don't have any caffeine, some which do. It's about a third or a half a cup of coffee, and these energy drinks are about the same caffeination level as coffee.
Right, okay, so...
For a kid, you know, so that this half our size or a third of our size.
Right, so what we're saying, what this study said is that the fizzy drinks leads to earlier experimenting with alcohol, but not all those drinks would be created equal.
No, that's right.
Because Sprite's got no caffeine, eh?
Yeah.
That's right. That hasn't caffeine, so that's not what they were studying. They were studying the Cokes or the energy drinks.
Right. What is the correlation between fizzy drink and then trying alcohol?
Well, there's a couple of theories on this, and with a lot of these things, they both probably have some element of truth in them. One is the sort of the gateway hypothesis. So in other words, you have a drug like caffeine, especially on a growing, developing brain, that affects the brain in a really quite structural way, and that means you're more likely, it changes your behaviour and your propensity to have the next drug. So we're familiar with it with, you know, vaping leading to smoking, soft drugs leading to hard drugs, that sort of thing. The drugs have an effect on the brain. The second hypothesis is that there are some people and some kids that have a high impulsivity, that have a low ability to not grab something that they just want right now, and that's something that they're born with, and it's those kids are more likely to do this drug and that drug and the next drug. And so it's not so much the drug itself, it's more that the kids have a higher propensity, more susceptible to it. So it's a personality.
Because if you're a parent watching this, you know, what message do you take away from it? Do you think, well, my kid is not someone who does reach for cans of Coke all the time, and so therefore may have a bit more self-control than these 10% who do, and therefore is giving my kid the old fizzy drink actually going to harm them? Are they going to be drinking booze at an early age because of that?
Yeah, but a gateway to drinking alcohol is just one of the problems with these drinks.
Yeah.
You know, they rot your teeth, they create obesity, they make you feel sad, you know, they're unhappy foods. So there's lots of reasons for parents to keep this away for kids.
With that 10% of kids who are reaching for the fizzy drinks and reaching for the booze at an early age, do we know much about them? Do we know, do they have greater access to? Do they have more pocket money? Do they have less supervision? Do we know anything about their environment?
We know that the environment is very conducive. These things are everywhere, and they're cheap, and they're available, and they're accepted. So, and that's kind of increasing in some ways. We know that the response is kind of the same, really. There's parental stuff, yes, but there is also public health actions like changing availability and the price and excluding them from schools and all of those sort of things. In Latin America now, they have warning labels on the front of cans that have caffeine and saying, warning, this contains caffeine and it is not suitable for children. So in Latin American countries, they're being very explicit on the messages, and they're required to carry them on the cans. But back to your point, this study didn't look at those aspects, you know, about the pocket money and so on. It more looked at this impulsivity and the effect on certain neurological tests like memory.
It was interesting because this is about 9 and 10-year-olds, but is there have there been any studies done in New Zealand actually on how early, how young kids might start drinking fizzy drinks?
Oh, fizzy drinks starts right down, you know, in the under fives.
Yeah.
It's less than the 10%. It's probably a few percent.
Yeah.
But no, that's not uncommon. And the thing is that they're kind of almost considered normal. But these are not drinks for kids. These are things that rot their teeth and create obesity problems, create mental health, part of the mental health thing with junk food. So we should be keeping these away from kids anyway.
How much, can you just remind me, how much did you say was the equivalent to a cup of coffee for the two on that did have caffeine?
So the energy drinks is about the same as a cappuccino, a flat white, you know, same amount of caffeine. Coke is about a third or a half or so.
And then you've got the sugar as well.
And then you've got the sugar as well.
Yeah.
And the transition from these sweet drinks into the ready-to-drink alcohols, you know, the Alco Pops, the Breezes, the Cruisers, those sorts of things, alcohol companies have realised that is an easy transition for kids to make from fizzy drinks to the Alco Pops, and so they heavily market young people, especially young girls, young women, around these Alco Pops.
Right. 528. Thank you very much for telling us about that latest research. University of Auckland Professor of Population Nutrition, Boyd Swinburne.